What is up, historians? Thank you for tuning in to Mana Rant episode 42, a historic podcast. We specialize in everything historic. That includes historic brawl as well. We are the Mana Dorks, and my name is Michael Apollo. And wowie, I am no longer grounded. I'm a big boy. I can stay up with you guys today. See, it's still daylight on my time of the world, dude. Yeah, I'm a big boy. So super excited to be back and talk some Magic with you guys and actually feel like an adult. So next we have a man. This is pretty good. This man had to buy a whole new wardrobe after not being able to get the massive ink stains out of his clothes. We have Hoshi.
Gross.
It was just my pants mainly. I mean, those things were saturated. I don't know how it all got there, but I mean, you know.
You didn't have one of like, oh!
It's a spooky ghost. Yeah. I was just, you know, it happens, man. It happens to the best of us, you know, so.
Yeah, got to watch where you're aiming. And finally, we have a man who has finally risen the ranks of the special ed program in Prismari to big head instructor of the Wizard School of Custodial Arts. We have DrunkenDork.
Yeah, I am very proud of myself. It was a long process, a lot of work. Lot of fucking toilets cleaned, dude. But I did good. I really showed my initiative. You know, no gloves, no problem, man. I just stuck my hands in there. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, all three of us back, and we just want to say welcome, Twitch, everyone that's watching right now. Thank you for tuning in to the live show. And for those who don't know, or maybe you're taking us on the go on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube, the way that our show works is through the actual phases of Magic. So we have our Untap, Upkeep, Draw, main phase 1, Combat, main phase 2, End step, cleanup, and then finally our discard. And just like when you start every single game of Magic, we start with our Untap step. And that's where we untap a drink of our choice. So,
oh yeah, I got something fancy.
Oh, yeah.
I am pulling a Hoshi today. Where look at this. Look, so I before we started, I blended up a whole bunch of watermelon, which is delicious.
Oh, wow.
And then so I'm gonna pour this watermelon in here. And then I don't know what Hoshi's doing over there. And then if you have ever heard of a shandy, I'm basically just doing a shandy.
Cool. Hell yeah. Hoshi, I gotta know, man. What the hell's going on over there, dude? Are you bringing Shaka Hosh back, dude?
It's a me, Shaka Hosh.
And apparently you're like Mario? What?
It's me bad Jamaican accent, man. Because I am drinking rum today. I got a smoothie where I blended up a bunch of strawberries and banana and other stuff, and then just a shitload of rum in there, you know, and a little bit of Greek yogurt to be topping it off, man. Yeah.
Yikes.
So wait, was your first accent you did, your Mario accent, was that supposed to be like a Rasta accent? I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, man, exactly.
All right, good job.
That's exactly what it was.
Went from bad Italian to bad Jamaican,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Really bad.
I guess I'm also kind of like being like Hosh. I'm drinking some JMO. Getting some JMO in the mix.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me liking.
Yeah.
So I want to say
some,
what is
gasoline.
up real quick to Jacavio, and what is up, Just Aether Wisp?
Chicavio,
What's
what
up,
up? Chat, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. And that is our Uptap. After our Untap is always followed by our Upkeep. And that is the Reddit Rant, where our little Hoshi is going to tell us what we're ranting about. So take it away, Hosh.
I'm little now, huh? That's cool. All right.
Well, you know, Willow, bro.
Oh, that's true. All right, guys. Well, this is Reddit Rant. And in Reddit Rant, I scour the internet for lunatics, which is easy to find because we're talking about Magic the Gathering. And there's always people screaming and bitching about Magic. So today, our Reddit Rant is coming from actual Reddit on the MTG subreddit. And this is coming from Dajafa And so this one has 0 upvotes and 23 comments, which means people are loving this one. So here we go. Scute Swarm. All right. Scute Swarm. There we go. Words. I can say them. Scute Swarm needs to kick rocks. This card is such baloney, which I don't know who uses baloney as a phrase anymore. This person must be in their 80s. Over half. Oh, this is phony baloney. So this card is such baloney. Over half the people I play on Arena lately use decks based on this card, and it makes the game drag on. There is no quick resolve, and when they have 45 of these D-bags and play other land card, it almost makes me want to concede just so I don't have to watch and wait for each card. How have they banned far less annoying cards, but this little shit keeps avoiding the banned skirt? So he says shit there, but he says baloney. I'm very confused on this guy's vernacular, but all right, anyways. How is this little shit keeps avoiding the banned stick? I'm just salty, but this card can suck a railroad spike.
Yikes.
All right. And then he added on a little bit more. This is where he really starts to be a normal Magic player. Also, I know it is a thing now that the internet is a thing, but people who just look up decks online, why? Doesn't that detract from this game? I have never looked at using other people's decks as my own. I mean, you aren't winning at that point. The deck creator wins. You just hold their hands for them. I even deleted all my pre-made decks on Arena because I don't want someone else's telling me how to play the game. Laugh out loud.
Oh, wow. You're so cool.
Man.
He went in there right away and deleted them.
He deleted all the pre-made decks, guys. We have a true deck building champion right
here. Yeah, wow. I just want to mention that Just Aetherwiz says the Scute Swarm decks are completely fair, and I agree.
It's true.
God, what a big fat baby Dajafa is.
The Scute Swarm?
I
That's
know.
Jesus, man. I got one card for you, Masker Worm. That's it. Drop the mic. Game's done, Yeah, do all that stuff, bro. I don't care. Masker Worm. Oh, whoopsie.
Thanks.
It's
exactly.
Completely fair card. This guy is on multiple levels.
Later in the show we're going to be talking about decks we made, but when I was making my decks, I was going to make a Scute Swarm deck for Historic, but it's just not good enough. It's just it's
really not.
Yeah, it's too slow. So I couldn't even add it in. I know this person's probably talking about Standard, right? But regardless,
maybe
well,
we'll see.
It's not the most amazing thing. It still dies to removal.
It does, but I added one into my little deck that we got coming up later on. We'll see how it does.
All right,
but anyway, so I love the second part though. But then he's like, I've never used anyone's deck before. I make all my own original decks. Yeah, and that's why you keep dying to Scute Swarm, because you suck at building decks, dude. Maybe you should use somebody else's deck, because clearly, if Scute Swarm is bothering you, you don't know how to add removal to your deck properly. If that is a huge thing right now. I mean,
it's pretty funny. One of the comments was well, what kind of deck do you play? And he's like, I'm trying to put cards in that destroy everything. It's well, you clearly suck at that, dude, because Masker Worm, again, I don't, man, that's funny, man. This is a good one. Yeah. You definitely, chat's right. Yeah, you definitely struck gold with this one, for sure.
I just who cares? If you use somebody else's deck, pros use other people's decks, and then they just tune them a little bit. No one who seriously plays this game has not taken somebody else's deck and then either used it exactly or changed it around a little bit.
Yeah.
You are not a genius, Dafaja.
But not only that, when you take someone else's deck who's a professional, deck that does well, you kind of learn the mechanics of it, right? And it makes you a better deck builder ultimately, because you were seeing how a good deck performs, rather than just throwing a pile of cards, 60 cards together and hoping this shit works, you actually get to play and you get to see what mid-ranges or aggro,
Yeah. Not only that, not everyone has time to do deck building. You have to know a lot about Magic to be able to make like a really good deck. And I just don't think a lot of people have time to like know every card in the format and do the research for it, right? So like people just getting into Magic are not, like they're all gonna use net decks. Like, so are those people idiots because they just started playing? I don't know. Yeah. This one got me.
Good. Yeah. And to like finalize that thought too, like what you guys are saying, like for me, like when we used to play tournaments, there would be like decks that pro play, but like the meta is kind of dependent on like the region you're even in, right? Like the meta in Los Angeles, you know, a Star City Open would be completely different than like Cleveland or something, right? And that's like kind of like what made me spawn into building decks off of net decks, right? Like Gruul aggro, something I'm really close to, and then I made like, you know, the Gruul monsters, and then Mike, I'm sure you remember my Jund monsters list, you know, using Vraska and Liliana and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, net decking just helps, right? Like, and it diversifies decks ultimately, I think so.
Yep. Cool.
Well, if you guys have a Reddit rant out there and you want to send it our way, just send it to us on our many different things that you can reach us on. And I love reading that stuff, and maybe it'll make it on the show. So, all right, back to you, Paulo.
All right, so after our upkeep, it is our draw phase, and that's just what other more Magic formats or decks that we have been playing this week. For myself, it's going to be really quick. Mostly, I just do a lot of studying, especially with some news that we're going to get a little bit into our main phase, but there's some news that has come out that we want to like let you guys know of. So I'm back on Gruul. That's just because something happened. I'm definitely back on Gruul, and I am fine-tuning that as we get closer to Historic Anthology 5. Hoshi, what about you? What have you been playing this week?
Real quick though, what have you been playing, Gruul? Like, what style of Gruul deck have you been playing? I just want to know.
Well, I'm kind of preparing for some cards that are coming out. What's it called? Artarka's Command. And I'm trying to make variants of... So the typical Gruul aggro is with Collected Company or using like Embercleave. And I don't think you should take out Embercleave. I think Embercleave is superior for that kind of deck because those creatures are really big. But I'm trying to make like a Gruul deck that goes like more wide, using more like mana ramp, like Llanowar elves, and there's another elf that can like untap to add mana or something like that. And try to go wide as opposed to like the other word, like going tall, like big, huge, beefy creatures. Utilizing Artarka's Command with Burning Tree Emissary, like those two just they love each other, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. But Hoshi, what about you?
So I've been playing two decks, really. One of them has been Bant Walkers, which has been a lot of fun. It's Teferi and Nissa and Vorinclex and, you know, board wipes and, like, extra turns and stuff. It's just one of those, like, good stuff decks, which has been, you know, when I get frustrated with stuff, I go to that one and just, it's pretty fun. It's nothing special. But then the other one has been... Gruul Land Destruction, which I've been seeing making the rounds, and you know, for one of the decks that I want to make for the new upcoming set, Historic Anthology 5 is going to be Gruul Land Destruction, but it's going to be snow lands with it because of some of the new ramp that we're getting. So I'm I'm practicing out the normal like Gruul Land Destruction deck to see how I can build upon that and make it a better deck than the one that currently exists. And that deck is great, man. I mean, it's just brutal to some people. If you get even kind of land screwed, like it's just over with that deck. But yeah, that's about it this week.
Chat says, Jacavio says, Hoshi, do you ever play any fair deck? The answer is no. No. Drunken, what about you? What have you been playing this week?
So I've been playing, I was playing a lot of elves and just getting fucking murdered, dude. Like, destroyed game after game. I think I lost like 8 or more consecutive games, and it was all to mono red. It felt like mono red's really good in the meta right now in best of 1.
Yeah.
And then so I went back to good old trusty Dimir Rogues, and dude, Dimir Rogues is so good. It's so good. Like, especially with the new cards, it's freaking amazing, man. You just get them like all the time. You know, I'm not really scared of many decks with that deck. So yeah, I've been really successful with it. It's good. If you haven't tried it, try it.
It's super. Yeah, it's top tier for sure. So with that, we'll go into our main phase 1. And normally it's a pause, wacky wild card of the week and metal game showcase. You know, like whatever. Yeah, there it is. The fanfare. But because the meta is actually going to be shaken up again, I just don't think it makes sense. We all agree, like, it just doesn't make sense to talk about tier lists or like a wild card, because there's going to be cards coming out like fairly soon. So what we do want to talk about is the rest of the Historic Anthology cards. And then I want to ask 3 questions to these guys: favorite card, worst card, and best card. And then we want to talk about the new spoilers for Dungeons and Dragons. But before all that, some big news. Tier S Plus deck. You guys talked about it. Tainted Pact. You got a banning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
It is done, son. Banned.
Yeah.
Almost forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, it just happened, but I seriously, like, I wanted to talk about that. I'm glad you remembered, because yeah, it's good. It's for the better. You know, there's a lot of chatter on our Discord channel, and a lot of people disliked it. I know I actually kind of liked it, but I'm not against this being banned, because I have been gotten by this card many times. And it's like they said when they banned it, it's not only for this deck, but like they see problems coming in the future if they don't ban Thassa's Oracle, you know, just because it is broken.
Yeah. It's a super powerful card.
Yeah.
That effect is crazy.
Yeah.
I think, like, when we talked about it last week, one of the main problems that I realized with that deck was really there was only 2 valid strategies that we can come up with to really get around that card, which was counter spells and hand hate, right? Is being able to get rid of that card out of their deck somehow, or counter it from happening. And that's kind of a problem, I think, when there's only like 2 type of, you know, colors that can actually stand a chance against a very powerful deck like that. So yeah, I'm fine with Thassa's Oracle being gone. Yeah, I mean, all bans suck, but yeah, 50% of the meta was what they were saying. In the upper tiers, that's always bad.
That's really bad.
I was reading, like, in an invitational, like, it was just like everyone was using it. And, like, why wouldn't you? Like, from a pro standpoint, like, why wouldn't you? You would you're going to play the deck that has the most percentage to win. So. Yeah. Good call. Wizards doesn't do many things correct, but this one, I think. So let's go actually into it. So Historic 5, you guys talked about it, but there were 4 cards that were finally released, and that is Elish Norn. So as we kind of like were already talked about, we knew the Praetors were coming and the commands, but so we got the Elish Norn, we got the Kolaghan's Command, we got Jin Cataxius, and an artifact, a really good one, I think, is Relic of Progenitus. So these are the 4 cards that have been spoiled. If you guys don't know them, just look them up. I mean, they're pretty common cards that have been played throughout Magic's history, and I am super excited for it. So let's start it off with DrunkenDork. What is your favorite card of the set?
Of all the cards that they brought, probably, man, it's really tough because, like, this is by far the best Historic Anthology they have done. A lot of really good cards in here. I think my favorite card, though, man, fuck, it's really lame. I'm gonna say Vault Scourge.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you're right. That is lame.
Yeah. It's a really good card, and I just like
it is.
I think it's gonna work well in a couple different decks, and I'm excited to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go with your worst card now. What is the worst card you think in this entire set?
The worst card in the set, I think it's probably Hoshi's gonna hate me. Well, it's probably Dragonstorm or Intangible Virtue. Those are my 2 for worst.
How dare you, sir? How fucking dare you?
Hoshi's not satisfied. And okay, and what do you think is the best card of the set?
I think it's Atarka's Command.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. And Hoshi, let's go with you. Favorite card, Historic Anthology 5.
This is a toughie. Yeah, because there's like 3 that I really love. I mean, like, In the North is so good, and then Intangible Virtue I really love too. But it's got to be Elish Norn. I mean, Elish Norn is such a bomb, and it's 7 mana, so that means it's a fun card, you know, because it's way up there, but it has like major impact when it comes in, you know. It still dies to removal, but the second it touches the battlefield, like, it kills like a lot of stuff when it comes in.
Yeah.
Makes your stuff huge. I mean, this thing is so crazy in Commander whenever it gets played, you know. It could be a huge problem for 3 people to deal with, let alone when you're playing against just one person, you know. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. That's my favorite, I think, so far.
What do you think is the worst card out of the set?
Yeah, it's probably Dragonstorm. Unfortunately, I mean, 9 mana is a lot. And then I don't know, Grizzly Salvage I think is also pretty bad. You know, yeah, I don't know. There's so much Golgari stuff that does this already. I just don't think it's that great. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but that's my one that I don't see getting played a lot. There's, I think, a lot of better Golgari stuff.
Man, you get off the podcast. Get off.
All right. So very controversial pick there. So what about your bet? What is the absolute best card from the set?
Okay, I think Relic of Progenitus is
Nice.
This card is amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, fucks up Grizzly Salvage, because you put all that shit in the graveyard, they try to pull something back, boom, you get rid of it. Yeah. Relic of Progenitus is an amazing card.
Yeah.
It's played in a lot of formats. The thing that I really love about this thing is that it is a budget version of Grafdigger's Cage, which was our card that we picked last week. And this is, it's a common. And hopefully they're keeping it as a common. It looks like they are putting it in there. So everyone should be able to craft this thing and use it. And now it doesn't stop cards from coming in from the library like Grafdigger's Cage does. But I mean, it also draws you a card if it's useless. So I think it's just a great card. I think it's going to have a lot of crafting of this one.
That's a good choice, dude. That's a really good choice. Relic of Progenitus is fucking sweet. And like... it's going to be, I think it's going to be used, yeah, you're right, in a lot of decks, and it's going to work really, really well in that mono blue Emery deck, because it does exactly what you want it to do. It sacrifices itself and draws a card, and then and then you can just bring it right back again, and you can keep on doing it with that Emery deck, and it's just, you're gonna see it used for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it's good in Emery, because it does exile your graveyard as well.
Oh, it does it? Oh, all graveyards.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so that might not be good.
No, that won't be good at all.
It's good. It's good against that deck, though.
I redacted. Everything I said, redacted.
It's really good against that deck.
Oh.
Regardless, it's going to be good in like control shells and stuff like that. Definitely, you're going to see this in like main board for sure, 100% sideboard. And overall, that is a really solid choice. Really down that Relic Progenitus is finally going to be within the format. For myself, my favorite card is actually Grizzly Salvage. That is my absolute favorite card from the set, because it is going to enable Reanimator strategies. And there is stuff that does that, but you need more. You need more fuel for it. And I think this is going to work really well with it. And something that we'll talk about a little bit later when we get into main phase 2. But I have like a different idea using a card that was from Mystical Archive that can work with this and some other cards, for like an Abzan Reanimator shell. But worst card, I'm going to go with Whirler Rogue, man. I mean, that card's dumb.
You're crazy, dude. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, I am not digging the Whirler Rogue, man. I just don't think it has the pieces to make it work for its cost. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just a little bit too slow for the format, and it's like begging for a deck style that just doesn't exist yet. If we get other cards, I mean, then maybe in the future. But for right now, I just don't see it happening. Now, my best card, is our Tarkar's Command.
Okay.
This is going to shake some stuff up for sure. How Gruul's going to use it, it's going to be really interesting to see. I was talking about before, like my idea, instead of going tall, like Gruul aggro using Embercleave, maybe you can go wide, utilizing Burning Tree Emissary and our Tarkar's Command. And then plus the modes on it are just like so good for keeping like your mana cost really low. If you're like in that like sweet little pocket of everything under 3, then man, every mode on that card is super relevant. So that is going to be my absolute best. Actually, before I move on though, I did want to say like my other worst I was going to say, but then I was thinking of Historic Brawl. I was actually going to pick Jin Cataxias, but because it could be used as a commander, then I was like, well, actually, it'd be really dope to see as a commander.
I guess. I mean, 10 mana is insane. But
it's not going to see
maybe
play.
Maybe we'll see Tybalt's Trickery make another resurgence with this, crazy nonsense coming out.
Oh, I'm sure you'll see it. I actually just played against the Tybalt's Trickery deck yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I did, and it beat me.
Yeah, it does. 50% of the time it wins.
Right.
Yeah, like the Praetors are just like, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I just don't see him being played. I mean, maybe Elish Norn in Control. I don't know, but they'll definitely see play in Historic Brawl, 100%.
They're in both my decks that I made.
Chat, let us know. YouTube, let us know in the comments below. What were your 3 favorite cards? Favorite, best, and worst. We were super interested to know what you guys think of these cards from Historic Anthology 5. But now we're going to go segue into some more spoilers. Man, it's just Christmas like almost every couple weeks now, dude.
It's
we're
crazy.
getting Dungeons and Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realm. So really cool, super flavorful. Obviously, D&D is owned by Wizards of the Coast, so they coincide with each other. So we got some cool, sweet spoilers. Do you guys want me to like go through and read them? Talk about them? What are you guys thinking?
Let's just,
let's read. Why don't we all read one? How about that? There's 3 spoilers.
All right,
there's
sure.
3 of us. It works perfect.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing a whole bunch actually. I'm seeing like 6, 7, 8, 9
from the Forgotten Realm.
Yeah.
No, there's 3 right now from what I saw, but
all right, well then, how about you guys just go off because
Okay.
I'm seeing like a whole bunch. So Hoshi, how about you just read one?
okay, sure. First, we'll go over Lolith Spider Queen. So this card is absolute garbage. It is a 5-drop, so it's 2 black and 3 colorless. Legendary creature, Planeswalker, Lolith, and
No creature.
whenever a creature... Huh?
You said legendary creature, Planeswalker.
Yeah. I did say that. Yeah, Planeswalker, sorry. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter on Lawless Spider Queen. And then its loyalty abilities, it has a 0. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Okay. -3, create 2 2/1 black spider creature tokens with menace and reach. Pretty good. You get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by 1 or more creatures you control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. Is that super making sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right there. And I know.
dumb.
And then it's just, and then it has 4 loyalty coming in, which is, I think this is bad. I think this is really bad.
Yeah.
The best thing that has going on it is it's -3. You get 2 spider creature tokens with menace and reach, which is pretty good. But that also puts this Planeswalker at 1 loyalty with no plus on it. It has no plus, so this just dies to shock or whatever at that point. And the only way you can get loyalty on it is if things that you own die. I don't know. And its emblem is trash, I think.
Yeah.
It should be way stronger than that.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's my final thoughts on it.
Garbage for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the next
All right.
one's going to be Drizzt Du Erden. It is 3 green-white for a legendary creature elf ranger, and it's at rare. And it says double strike. When Drizzt Du Erden enters the battlefield, create Gwen Wyver, a legendary 4/1 green cat creature token with trample. And then it says, whenever a creature dies, if it had power greater than Drit's power, put a number of +1/+1 counters on Drit's equal to the difference. And Drit's is a 3/3. This is the dumbest named card ever, dude. Like, just, it's a fucking mouthful.
The names are bad.
It's Drit's do under... or Erden or whatever, and then it makes a cat creature called Guinevere. Okay, yeah, but it's like spelled really weird.
Yeah, why is the cat's name like King Arthur's wife's name? I don't know. What? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Good job, MTG lore people, killing it as usual.
Hyvar. I don't know how you say it, but anyway, yeah, the art's dope as fuck. But the card itself is super lame.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty cool, at least for standard. I mean, it's probably not going to be great in historic, but I mean, it's whenever any creature dies, not just yours. Like, if they had more power, it buffs them up.
Yeah.
And, you know, a 3/3 double strike is nothing to scoff at. Along with a 4/1 cat with trample that he's getting. I think it's decent. It's not probably going to see play in historic, but I like the card.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that it has on it is really powerful for the mana cost, right? Like, it has some really powerful stuff going on here. But, again, it costs 5, though. So,
yeah.
You know, we have seen
it's a little too high for our format.
Yeah, it is. We have seen things go up into the upper converted mana cost, or as they say, mana value now. It's stupid. But again, I don't know if Selesnya can really do that effectively. I feel like Selesnya wants to go more wide than big. But I mean, it is a cool card. Maybe Historic Brawl, definitely standard for sure. But I just don't see it in Historic. Really cool card though, for sure. So I think I see the third card that you guys are talking about. Is it Brunor?
Yes.
All right. So we got the third one, Brunor Battlehammer, for a 2 colorless red and white for a legendary creature dwarf warrior. For each creature you control, each creature you control gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. You may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate each turn. And it is a 5/3 at uncommon. Meh. I mean, it's cool, like, that we're getting some more equipment stuff. I definitely see this in Historic Brawl. Like, this is definitely something Boros needs, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like with how much power creep has been going on, like, just give us the 0 equip like we used to get from, like, old cards that have this effect. Like, why is it, like, for the first equip ability? You know, just make equips cost 0. I mean, equipment needs something, man. At least that's what I think. But yeah, I mean, cool card. I don't know, Hoshi, you're a little bit more experienced in this than I am. What do you think?
I mean, 0 equip of a hammer is pretty sweet, and just another creature that allows you to do that. Now, this is obviously, it being a 4-drop makes it not really viable in the like current speed of the meta, but yeah, for Brawl for sure, and then for Jank, this is going to be fun to play with, I think. And I mean, think about it. You put the hammer on something, the hammer's at 10/10 for free, and it gets another +2/+0. So whatever it is, it's at least going to be a 1/1 is a 13, you know, something at that point, which is not, you know, that's pretty gnarly. So I like this card. I think it's great. I saw people shitting all over it because they're like, "Ugh, Boros gets equipment card." Well, big thinking there, you know, wizards, and it's like, dude, shut up. You know, like maybe we'll get some cool equipment. I like equipment, so I'm always excited when I see new equipment cards like this. And hey, it's uncommon, you know, so maybe something better is on the horizon with it. So
for sure, Drunken.
Anything? I think in Historic it's bad. Unfortunately, you guys are right. For Historic Brawl, it'll be good. It'll be fun, at least. Equipment's just not good in the Historic format. So until they make good equipment that works, or Swords. You have ways of cheating it, you know, it's not going to be a viable strategy.
Yeah, agreed. So moving on, but make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of the show because we're going to talk about some cool new decks in Historic Anthology 5, so please stay tuned. But before that, we go into our combat, and that is where we play the horseshit card game or the Apollo sucks at life game. So, DrunkenDork, take it away. He's going to tell us how to play.
All right, everybody. So this is the horseshit card game. So where I open up a pack of magic cards, which is War of the Spark. I think I did this last week. And I name 4 cards, and it's up to these two and one of those cards is fake. And it's up to these 2 drunken idiots, and you all, if you want to guess, which one of those cards is the fake card. So I am going to open this and pick my cards, but I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I went to a comic book shop today while I'm picking my cards. Went to a comic book shop today, and I was like looking through this guy's stuff, and he had a bunch of weird comics, and I saw some magic cards. I was like, oh cool, you have magic cards? He's like, yeah, I buy all this stuff in bulk, and then like from people on eBay and Facebook and stuff, and then I resell it at my store. And he's like, look at that, I'll show you something if you play Magic. It's really cool. I was like, okay. He's like, about 10 years ago, I picked up this like massive collection from this guy, and it was for like $90 or something. And he pulled out 3 cards, and it was a beta Mox Ruby, a beta what the fuck is that card? Wheel of Fortune, and a beta Ancestral Recall or something like that. It was like ridiculous. I was like, oh my god, those 3 cards alone is like $30,000 or something.
Oh my god.
Insane, dude.
I've always thought about doing that, but I just like always figured whoever's selling them must be at least research the Power 9.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Got lucky.
Hey, Apollo. Apollo. So, I forgot to tell you about this, but I had an idea for the horseshit card game going forward right now, where we start a season, and before he starts talking about the cards, we bet on points. Up to 3 points you can bet. Okay. And if you win, you get however many points you bet on. But if you lose that many points. So you could go negative points. Okay. And then we carry forward going on, and then whoever loses has to do something embarrassing or like refer to themselves as a bronze player or something.
Okay, I mean,
figure something out.
You know, my better judgment tells me that I have a history of losing constantly, so this would like not be a good bet. But I love Vegas, man. Let's do it. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see me doing dumb stuff on stream.
So I want to say,
right, so
are you guys going to do the betting before you hear the cards or after?
Yes. Yeah. You have to do it before. Like, so you tell us what set you're going to call it from, and then we can bet based on that set, but not on the cards.
How many points do you guys start off? I like this. How many points do you start off with?
So 0. So we're starting off with 0, but you can bet up to 3 points.
Okay. So you can go into the negatives.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You can go negative.
All right.
What set are you doing again?
War of the Spark. And I'm going to start with
2.
2. Okay, Hoshi, what do you got?
I'm going 3. I'm going for 3.
3. Okay.
Let's go big.
All right. Well, let's read the cards. So the first one's going to be...
stakes are high.
The first one's going to be Vivian's Grizzly. It is 2 and a green for a creature, bear, spirit at common. It says 3 and a green. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, put it on the bottom of your library. And it is a 2/3. The second one is Undead Demise. It is 4 and a black for an instant at common. And it says destroy target creature. And then it says amass 1. The third card is Blind Blast. It is 2 and a red for an instant at common. Blind Blast deals 1 damage to target creature. That creature can't block this turn. Then it says draw a card. And finally, we got Kiora's Dambreaker. It is 5 and a blue for a creature Leviathan at common. It says, when Kiora's Dam Breaker enters the battlefield, proliferate. And it is a 5/6. So I'm going to start it off. Paulo hasn't been here for a while. Paulo, you go first, buddy.
All right. Those all sound pretty good. Kiora is something I'm thinking about. And Liliana is something I'm thinking about. How much? What was the CMC of the bear?
2 and a green.
With a search effect. I'm gonna say that one is horseshit.
Vivian's Grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hoshi.
that's it. Vivian's Grizzly. Yeah, not Liliana.
Hoshi, what do you got?
I'm maybe between the second and third one. So the second one was the black kill spell, right?
Mm-hmm. Undead Demise.
And how much was that one again?
4 and a black.
4 and a black, and then it's just destroy target creature and anything else.
And it says amass 1.
And then what was the next one after that? It was...
The next one after that was Blind Blast.
And that was like you hit it for 1, it can't block, and you draw a card.
Yeah.
And how much was the CMC on that one?
2 and a red.
Man, that's tough. I feel like it's one of those two, and I'm not sure because they're both pretty shit cards that I probably wouldn't know about. Man.
You got this. Come on.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with I'll go with the amass one, the black one.
The black one.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Undead Demise.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Well, let's see. Just Aether Wisp and Hoshi say Undead Demise, and Apollo says Vivian Grizzly. I can't. Sorry. So, I want to say, I mean, this week there is more than one fucking idiot here, but like every week, Apollo, you are a fucking idiot. I just want to start off by saying that. -2 points for you, dude. And Hoshi and Just Aether Wisp, you two got it right. Undead Demise is not a real card.
Yes. Woo! Oh man, that was a toughie, dude. That was tough. Woo!
Oh, and Chicavio says the last one. Chicavio, you fucking idiot.
Oh, man.
S'mores and bacon, you got it too.
Oh man, Apollo, that was the only one I knew that was actually like a real card because I played with. Right when I was trying not to be like.
I was trying not to laugh too. As soon as he got it wrong, like I was trying hard not to laugh, and I held it in until the end.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
that's
do
good.
good
We
in
both
this
did.
game.
We both did good.
I'm just not gonna do good. As much as like I think I know about Magic, I am brain dead in draft.
All right.
So
Sorry.
yeah,
And
that
then
was the
there's
horseshit card game. Congratulations, chat. S'mores and bacon, Just Aether Whips. Chicavio, you're just like me, dude. We're dumb. And Hoshi, congrats, bud. Cheers to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And YouTube, let us know in the comments below. Did you get it right or were you wrong? Like this dumbass right here. And be sure to subscribe, click that bell notification, and give this video a thumbs up. Really helps us out.
Yeah.
So moving on, we're going to go into our main phase 2. Back to Historic Anthology 5. We have brewed some cool little decks. I'm sure Hoshi has like 50 rares. It's like 59 rares and one like mythic or something.
Maybe.
But we're going to go over it, talk about it, and talk about some cool decks that we want to play when Anthology 5 hits the stores. So, Hoshi, let's just go ahead and start with you. You won. So, what deck are we talking about?
Oh, so snow tokens. All right, so Drunken shit all over the one card that I liked, Intangible Virtue. So I thought I'd make a deck with it because I love tokens. I love Selesnya. I love tokens. whenever a set comes out that like does any kind of token stuff, this is like one of the first types of decks that I'm like really excited to make. And sometimes it works out pretty well. So with this one, I am trying to use a bunch of different types of token generators. And this is also a snow deck because Into the North came into play. Okay, so Into the North I think is a really impactful card in Historic because we don't have a 2-mana ramp card that like is a for sure ramp. Like we have Growth Spiral and we have Explore, but those require you to actually have the card in your hand. So those can whiff, where Into the North is an actual ramp card in the way that I think about it, like Cultivate is, where it pulls something out of your deck and puts it into play tap. So I think this is the first card like this that we have in Historic. So I wanted to put that in here. Lets us play with snow. One of the great things about Into the North too is it's a snow land. So it's not just basic lands. I can pull out the dual snow lands with this, and I could pull out Faceless Haven with it as well, which could be pretty useful in a lot of situations. Faceless Haven is a super good card. And then with the other snow thing that I have going here is going to be In Search of Glory or Search of Glory, which allows you to get a little bit of life based on how many snow you pay for this, and it lets you look for a legendary card or saga or a land or a snow permanent. So that card's pretty cool. And then, like I said, just a bunch of token generators in here. Intangible Virtue to give them all +1/+1 in Vigilance. Another one I thought was kind of cool that I threw in here was Battle for I can't even read that. Bredagard. Which I've never seen anyone play with, but it seems like it kind of fits in this deck from like the amount of varied tokens I'm playing, where you create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token, create an elf warrior creature token, and then for the last phase is choose any number of artifact tokens and or creature tokens you control with different names. For each of them, you may make a copy of them. And so with the amount of like different types of tokens I have in here, I think that could possibly make a shit ton of tokens. And then with all the ramp, I'm using Scute Swarm in here too, because I'm also using Cultivate as well as Into the North. So why not make a bunch of tokens with Scute Swarm?
Scute Swarm.
I'm running 3 of those. Scute Swarm's pretty good. Obviously, I mean, that one guy's ranting about it like a lunatic. But so that's one of the other landfall things that I have in here, as well as Feldar's Retreat, which is another landfall one that makes tokens. That's really good. For Planeswalkers, we got a Ajani and Elspeth. Elspeth is pretty good in token strategies, I think. She's got Recursion on her, which is pretty nice. I've played her in a couple decks. 2 Anointed Processions to double up everything, And then for Control, I have Conclave Tribunal and Settle the Wreckage, because I don't want to board wipe. I don't want to lose all my tokens. But I don't mind leaving myself open because, a lot of aggro decks don't play Settle the Wreckage. So this card, I feel like, catches people off guard all the time. And then on the very, very top end of this deck, I have Elesh Norn, because hell yeah, Elesh Norn. Because this is a bomb. Like, if this thing comes down and I have a bunch of tokens out on the field, I pretty much squash whatever my opponent has, and all my tokens become massive at that point, and then it's probably game over. And then with the amount of ramp that I have in this deck, getting to Elesh Norn should not be hard. And I can pull it out with Search of Glory too. So yeah, that's what I got. And then hopefully with all this mana, March of Multitudes. I also thought about putting Vorinclex, the new one, in here, but I haven't found the spot for him yet because he doubles mana. So that would be insane with March of Multitudes. Also, Miari's Wake, which I still haven't. I don't know where to put that yet either. So I'm still playing around with this a little bit, but this is my first attempt at this deck. What do you guys think?
Cool. Yeah, I think it's cool, man. Definitely looks like a Hoshi deck. I have one question for you, though. Where the fuck is the 9 lives and Solemnity combo, dude? It's not a Hoshi deck without the 9 lives and Solemnity combo in here.
I'm playing Sagas. You can't use Solemnity if you're using Sagas.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, but all jokes aside, I think it's cool. Conclave Tribunal is a really good card. It works. It's smart in a token deck. Yeah, it looks fun. I'm curious to see how you do with it. I was looking at making a token deck, but it's just, there's like good and bad to it. Like, I was looking at a way more aggressive strategy, but this looks like a more like mid-range strategy of doing it. So, yeah. Cool, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, obviously you're in like beta right now, but I think you should have the 4 of Faceless Haven. To be honest, I mean, getting that with Into the North, because at the end of the day, it's a body, and that's what makes that card so fucking good. And just having another body, especially a 4/3, I mean, getting that 4/3 out by potentially turn 3 to attack, that's on curve, and that's pretty good. So but you got a lot of 1-ofs here. Obviously, I know that you're trying to like work things out. Again, I'm not like a token like strategist, but isn't there like, doesn't Tristani help out with token strategies, or wasn't there like
she does? Yeah, there's a 5-drop Tristani.
Yeah,
I took her out.
Oh, 5-drop. Okay.
But yeah, she is good. The reason I'm using a lot of 1-ofs is because of that battle for Breckguard. So I want different token names so that I can double them with that battle for Breckguard. So the only one that I really have a lot of in there would probably be Scute Swarm and like the March Multitudes that will make like a lot of the same one,
Yeah.
And then Donna Hope's in there, Legion Landing. So yeah, I think it's a cool card, and I think it might work out pretty well in this deck. But it's like you said, beta. I'm excited to play with it and see how it performs.
Yeah, for sure. But other than that, it's a dope deck. I like the little like landfall synergy you got going here, because you have ramp. It works actually with Cultivate and Into the North. So like super dig that to get those like landfall strategies. Yeah, really cool, dude. Fucking like really sweet deck.
Sweet, thanks.
You had another one though that you just wanted to at least mention.
So it was the based on the land destruction one that I've been playing in just the normal historic so far, but I'm changing it up to snow because once again, Into the North is in there, so you can ramp out a little bit earlier with this one, and it's great. So it's basically the land destruction deck that I'm already playing, but hopefully this one's going to be able to shit out the lands a little bit faster, have the Faceless Haven there once again to have another body to finish people off, because sometimes you stall out with this deck because you don't have a way of killing your opponent. Like you crush all their lands, but then what? Like you don't really do a lot. And then of course at the very top end of this one, I think it fits really well into this deck is Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. Since you're ramping so much, getting this one out isn't that hard. And if you're crippling people's lands already, Vorinclex is really going to screw them over. Whenever they tap their land, it's tapped down permanently, and then you destroy whatever one is not tapped down. It's over at that point, pretty much.
Cool. So let's see. DrunkenDork, what about you? What deck did you brew up?
So I brewed 2, like Hoshi. Real quick, I'll mention I did a Tempered Steel, but you also did a Tempered Steel. The difference between my Tempered Steel and your Tempered Steel, yours is best of 3, mine's best of 1. And mine runs blue, and yours does not, I don't believe. But I'm going to talk about a different deck. I did a Junk Reanimator. I don't know, what is black, white, green called nowadays? I just always still call it Junk.
Abzan,
that's right.
Abzan.
So I made an Abzan Reanimator deck that's really fucking janky. So I have 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Grizzly Salvage, 3 Mire, I forget, I can't read it, Triton.
Mire Triton.
Yeah, and then I have, this is a newer one, 3 Witherbloom Command. So this, like, it helps mill yourself. It also destroys, it's versatile, it's a good card, and I think it might be good in this strategy. And it returns the land kind of like Grizzly Salvage. Then my Reanimator card, which is like, this is what makes it so janky, because this is just a bad Reanimator card, but until we get something good, I just wanted to try it out. It's going to be Scent of the Worthy, and it's one of those saga cards. It's 1 white and a black, and if y'all don't know what it is, that's not surprising because no one ever uses it. It says choose a creature you control until end of turn. if you would be dealt damage, and all the damage would be dealt to that creature instead. And that's both 1 and 2 on the saga. And then number 3 on the saga is return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. But it is also an angel, and it also gets flying. So that is the reanimator aspect of it right there. So it's really late in the game. The earliest I can get it out is turn 2. With Llanowar Elves. And then after that, I have Knight of the Reliquary, also a card you don't see too often, but because I am milling myself, I'm going to have a lot of lands in my graveyard, more than likely. So I have 3 of those, 3 Murderous Riders, or 4 Murderous Riders, no, 3. And then I have Mythos of Nature, or Nethroi, I mean.
Nethroi, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is basically just destroy a target permanent. And then I have 1 Elish Norn. These are my reanimator targets. Yeah. 1 Shieldred, 2 Vorinclex, and 1 Jin Cataxian. And then my mana base is just kind of all over the place. I did some interesting stuff here because Knight of the Reliquary, what it does is you can sacrifice a forest or plains and you can just search for any land. So I did put a couple of odd ones in here. I put a Bajuka Bog in. I put a Blast Zone in. And then I think that's it for the weirdness, but those 2 I think work good because I can just go search those out if I need them, and I can I can't sacrifice them, I guess, but yeah, I mean I can use them like when I need to if I have my Knight of the Reliquary out. So what do you think of my janky jank?
It's some jank.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. You got all the Praetors, bro. Well, except the dumb red one, but...
No, I don't have the red one.
Yeah, that one's dumb. But dig it, dude. It's really cool. S'mores and Bacon, I see you. Hang on to that thought there. But yeah, so Chad is saying, what's up with the no Grizzly Salvage? Or, I'm sorry, Unburial Rights.
Unburial Rights. What is that again?
Yeah,
it is
it's another reanimator.
Yeah, it's a sorcery 4 and a black.
That one.
Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with flashback.
Yeah, that card probably is better. That's what I normally do when I have reanimator shells when I try to make them. But I never saw this card before, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So I just wanted to try it out. It's way worse, Yeah, I don't know. You're probably right, S'mores and Bacon. I should be using Unburial Rights.
I dig it, dude. I would like to play against it for sure. Like it seems pretty cool. I like the ramp. I like the discard. Yeah, I'm looking through everything here. I love Night. I love Absan, dude. It's probably like one of my favorite 3 color pies or whatever, guilds or whatever you want to call them. I think actually Witherbloom command is pretty interesting. That's something I wasn't thinking of for my reanimator strategy, but I like the modes on it. It's pretty cool that you get to choose 2. So yeah, I dig it.
Cool
for sure.
That is it.
Yeah, I like it. I think one of the things that you're missing in this deck is a way of discarding cards from your hand.
You're probably right, yeah.
Being able to... Because like, if you get Jin Cataxia in your hand, it's like, yay.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to cast this thing, right? So being able to, like, some type of looting, I think would be
So you can Thoughtseize yourself. I'm just telling... Like, I've done it before.
Okay, yeah, you can. Yeah, for sure. I've seen people do it too when I use the Leyline of Sanctity.
Yeah.
They have no
so
just to get a spell off. Yeah.
Chat, I was telling these guys earlier today that I was also building or trying to build. I'm still in the brewing process. I have nothing on paper yet, but a reanimator strategy. And instead of you having the splash for blue for Jin Cataxias, mine is splash for red for Faithless Looting. Get that shit in your graveyard. That's what I'm trying to go with.
Yeah.
I really think Grizzly Savage with Faithless Looting really like work hand in hand together. And then my version has the Unburial Rights. But creatures I was thinking of was like Thragtusk. That could be a good one because of the recursion. You know, it just replaces itself, and that's something that was relevant in standard back in the day. But yeah, I love Reanimator. I don't know. I love Abzan. I love Reanimator. So I'm excited to brew with it.
Wait, you're doing Abzan, or are you doing?
Well, mine's Abzan Splash Red.
I don't have any blue in my decks. There's no way I could cast Jin Cataxias.
Yeah,
it's literally
not
it's
splash,
one
just
card in
in
my
there.
deck, and it's only there to go into my graveyard.
Yeah, mine's going to be like 3 colors Splash Red.
Yeah,
But yeah, just because like I think Faithless Saluting would work really well with like Grizzly Savage, Winterbloom Command, and you know just getting your shit in the grave. For myself, as we already mentioned, I built a Tempered Steel deck, and let me pull it up here. I could have sworn I had it already up. Apparently, I don't. And Tempered Steel is an artifact. Sorry, just hanging with me here. Here we go. So mine's Orzhov. And come on, internet. Do you guys have it up? You guys want to
Yeah,
start
I'll start reading
going,
it.
though.
So it's Tempered Steel. It has 4 Ornithopters, 4 Stone Coil Serpents, 4 Bombat Courier, which is an interesting card to have in here. 4 Ginger Brute, 2 All the Glitters, 4 Scrap Heap Scroungers, which I think this card is great. This is not in mine. A lot of these cards aren't in mine, but this one is a really good addition, especially if you have black in your deck. Like, just the recursion aspect of it is always good. Do you want to take over from here?
Yeah, so Steel Overseers, the Vault Scourge. We got some Scrap Scroungers, All That Glitters. On the top end, we have Venerated Luxodon, which is just really good to be able to convoke all of our little guys and then get some counters on them and get them big. And then obviously we have Tempered Steel, where artifact creatures we control get +2/+2. And then the mana base, just trying out some different things. Some key things that I was trying to do was Blink Moth Nexus and Spire of Industry. We also have some fast lands in here. I think I'm going to trim down a couple and have some basics, but yeah, pretty much it. And then for sideboard, you got to have the Thoughtseize, you got to have the Relic of Progenitus, because graveyard strategies and stuff like that, they exist. Glass Casket, Make a Stand. It's just a cool little pump them up for our little guys. And then one of Karn, just to be able to dig stuff and get things into our hand. So yeah, I mean, the deck is just real quick. Get all your little guys out, have them get nice and big really quickly, and they all kind of synergize together. Steel Overseer is able to get our guys even bigger every single turn. Pretty formidable staple. It was something that was seen in Affinity back in Modern. Vault Scourge, we can just get it out on 1, pay the 2 life. We don't really care about the black too much. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. What do you guys think?
I think it's...
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go, Hoshi?
No, go ahead. You're more experienced in this deck.
Okay, so I like this. Like I said, I made a Tempered Steel deck. Like, anyone who's been playing Historic since the beginning has definitely played against this deck more than once, because this was like one of the top decks for a long time. I like, this was the first thing I thought of when I looked at all the cards, is Tempered Steel. And the one thing I'd say is, like, I'm surprised you don't have the Homunculus in here, because the Homunculus is an artifact, and it's a 1 mana 2/2. But besides that, the only other thing is, like, I was gonna say you don't have card draw, but Bombat Courier is kind of like card draw in a way. So that is good. Like, that's a good addition to it. And like I said, I really like the Scrap Heap Scrounger. That's a really good recursive card. It looks good. And then another thing is, I get some fucking basic lands in there, dude, because when you play shitheads like Hoshi, you need to have basic lands in your deck.
Very true.
It's true.
Hoshi, you do like equipment, but you don't really play artifact strategies like this. But what do you think about the deck?
I like it. I really like the Blink Moth Nexus is really cool, that it can turn into a actual artifact and smash into, which is pretty sweet. Like he said, I think you definitely at least need 3 3 basic lands in there. That should be like a just straight out like rule. Is don't go this low on them, because if you get hit by, whatever the land destruction cards that let you search for something, like, you're gonna be screwed. The venerated Luxodon, I feel, is a little bit of a weird choice. If I was to make this, I really, that's probably the only thing that I would take out maybe, and instead put in something like the indestructible charge one, where you get like all the counters on it and they gain indestructible, just because you don't have any like really board wipe protection, I guess, in here. The Bombat Courier is good because you can sack that to get some cards back, but yeah, I would put board wipe protection instead of the venerated Luxodons. That's just for me. I don't know. I said, or like you said, I don't really play this kind of strategy that much, but I do play creature strategies, and having those in your back pocket sometimes is pretty clutch.
Yeah, venerated is definitely like the odd one of the bunch for sure, but it was something that I was just trying to think of how I can put counters on at the most efficient way. And keeping the spell itself cheap. I
was gonna say, if you had vigilance, then yeah, he's great, because then you can attack and then tap everything and buff it up. But
probably can like cut those out, put 2 of those guys in, and maybe the 2 of the homunculus test out. Because I definitely need that card in there too. I mean, that's a 1-drop for a 2/2.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's really good.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else you want to add about Historic Anthology 5?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I was brewing a lot with Historic Anthology. I like all the cards, like I've already stated many times. I was really brewing around trash for treasure.
Yes, me too.
And I was making like these weird, like, red, blue, like I guess like token like decks that would bring back like that big fucking 12/12 or whatever it is from Aetherworks, or whatever that set is called, Kaladesh. And and it's just like, every time I made it, I was like, man, this looks like a lot of fun, but that is it. It just looks like a lot of fun. I think that card eventually is going to definitely be used, because it's it's the best recursion card that we have, right? Like, it's the best reanimator card that we currently have. We just need better reanimator targets, I think is what the main thing is.
Well, that was one of the decks that I didn't have time to get around to. Mine was going to be Mardu Reanimator, and I was going to use God Pharaoh's Gift with this, was to sack some kind of token, or to sack that new artifact that we got, which was the Ichor Wellspring, right? Where you sack that, you draw a card as well, and then you grab God Pharaoh's Gift out of your, graveyard that you threw in there with something like Faithless Looting, right? And then just boom, that comes back. Then you reanimate a Praetor or something. So yeah, I will make that deck eventually. But
I'm gonna say Just Aether Wisp said it could be good with Gearhulk, and yeah, I don't know why the fuck I didn't think about that. Yeah, it would be amazing with Gearhulk for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like things like Faithless Looting, and you're like dropping bomb instants or something in your graveyard, and then you can just trash for treasure the gear 2-for-1 right there. My God, yeah, that's great.
And you can get Stitcher too if you're running black. There's so much good graveyard dumpage right now.
Super cool.
Pretty sweet.
Something I want to say for more of like the competitive side, aside from like the cool, like, kitchen table, like jank deck building that we're talking about, something we're definitely going to see is going to be mono red resurgence in best of 3 for sure. With Artarka's command come out, our big Artarka red is coming for sure. So that's something like I'm really interested to see. Usually when new things enter, mono red sees like a resurgence. I'm interested to see how, pretty much what I'm getting at is like, there's cards that we're talking about, like you guys like Trash for Treasure. It might not be there yet, but the ideas are brewing, right? And I'm super excited and really, really hope that WotC continues this trend, that they keep adding cards to make more archetypes and develop the meta in a unique way, to where we can have things like Eternal formats where it's like super wide and there's like everything is just really powerful and has a chance to win. You know what I mean? Not like Standard of old days where it's just like, oh, are you playing mono black or mono blue devotion? You know, like, oh, wow, how diverse, you know? So like that's something I'll take away from this set. Like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of cards on here that are probably not good, but if with other cards in, like when we get fetches, Stifle will be good, you know? Like, but without fetches, Stifle is like a fuck you card, I guess.
It's still good. Stifle is a good card. It's a good sideboard card, you know, and like it'll be used. For
I don't think it'll be like format defining though.
No,
is what I mean.
No.
Once fetches are in though, Stifle's in, like for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Super excited. What about you guys? Let us know in the comments below. Chat, let us know, how do you guys overall view about the Historic Anthology 5? Also, is there a card that we didn't talk about that you guys want to hear? Please let us know in the comments below. We really appreciate all the feedback. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you're listening on Spotify, click in the description to our Discord link and join the dorks, you know? Come out, hang out with us, drink with us, talk some cards, play the horseshit card game. We really appreciate it. Our community is super cool. You know, they're on chat. It's a hilarious good time, and we talk about Magic and you know, trolling each other. So be sure to join that and follow us. Now we're going to go into our end step. I'm pretty sure we're going long, but if there's anything you guys want to talk about, this is where we talk about anything else that's not Magic related. You guys got anything?
No.
Hoshi?
Oh no, I have no life. I didn't know.
Oh,
not really. Just some. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I do have something. I will not be on next week, y'all, and I am going to be on vacation in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, shit.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Nice,
I am super excited. I am all vaccinated along with my wife, so we are ready to get the fuck out. And yeah, it'll be good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's great.
Do you have anything, Hosh?
Oh yeah, my car died, so that's not working. And then while it was parked out on the street, someone hit it this week and like ripped my bumper off in my rearview mirror. So yeah, so life's going awesome for me. I was like, that sucks. My car's broken. Oh well, maybe I'll fix it. And then someone just like hit it, and I was like, I want this person to die in a fire. Yeah, guess what? They left no note on my car too, because they're super awesome. Whoever did that, yeah. Yeah. So that was the nice little, like, you know, shit sprinkles on my shit salad that I had. Yeah, that's great.
For me, I mean, I really want it, but I'm trying to like justify paying for it. But I really want Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Oh, I got it.
Called. You got it?
Yeah, I've been playing it too, as much as I possibly can.
Oh.
It's really good. Yeah,
really.
I haven't played Mass Effect in a long time, but man, what a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I really want it. I mean, for the price, it's amazing. Like $60, and you get 3 full games. Probably like one of the most story intense RPGs of all time. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna get it like next weekend or something. But be sure to stay tuned for that, because I would like the stream if you guys are interested in watching us play some Mass Effect. And with that, we are going to go into our cleanup and discard. Cleanup is just social media promo. Everything's going to be popping up on screen if you're watching us on YouTube. All the links will be down in the description if you're on Spotify and YouTube. And I'm sorry, Spotify and iTunes, and where else you get your podcasts on the go. And if you're watching us on Twitch, some of you are already on our Discord. We'll be sure to post all the decks that we were talking about today, so that way you guys have access to them if you guys want to use them by the time Historic Anthology 5 comes out. And then with that, we go into our Discord where we finish wherever we've been drinking.
Oh no.
So cheers to you boys. Cheers to chat. Cheers to everyone watching out there. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See you, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
You know, I don't like this game that you did, because now you're at +3 and I'm at -2. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Jesus.
I love it, dude. I'm 5 points